The morning after finishing her mother's letter, Luna made her way to the Whispering Woods for the first time in a long while. The hectic days at the Cobalt Institute. The fragment of the map of time entrusted to her by Azul. And the reality of her mother's death. The forest was enveloped in silence. Only her footsteps echoed softly. Yes, this was where it all began for me. Azul's words came back to her. The history that dragon clans ruled over humanity is a fiction conveniently rewritten by humans. The dragon clans despised conflict and were beings who harmonized nature, humanity, and time itself. The contents of her mother Aura's letter overlapped with these thoughts. Tida was a descendant of the dragon clan, but he hid that blood and lived as a human. And then, her discovery in the Garden of Silence. She had begun to notice, just a little, the voices of the plants. In this modern age where there are correct answers to everything, where knowing it all seems to be taken for granted, Luna had always been confronting ambiguity that yielded no answers. The reason she couldn't use magic, the truth about her father, her mother's death, the true purpose of the map of time. It would be easy to slap labels of good and evil on everything. The kingdom is evil, and we are righteous. Such certainty would provide temporary comfort. But perhaps that's just the arrogance of those who have stopped thinking. She remembered Professor Hypatia's words. What matters is not the narrative of common sense, but the silence that has yet to find words. She sat beneath the familiar large tree, quietly watching the forest's changes. Light and shadow shifted slowly with the passage of time. She remembered the days spent in the Garden of Silence. The essence of water that Thales had spoken of. The cosmic harmony embedded in Euler's equations. The music of plants that Noel played. Just as there was no good or evil among the plants, the map of time had originally always governed harmony. It wasn't about what was right or what was wrong. I have always been searching for answers within ambiguity, and I always will. In the forest silence, she focused on her own breathing. Exhale. Inhale. Each breath traced back to her mother Aura, to her mother's mother, to something primordial. No matter how far back she went, she could never truly touch it, but she didn't want to stop imagining. How does that primordial heart feel about this world now? Azul's words echoed. The dragon clans who governed time existed before this planet was born, quietly guiding the flow of life. The sound of wind, the rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, everything exists here and now. Past sorrows and future anxieties, everything was dissolving into this present moment. I have no magical power. What isn't there, isn't there. But what is there, exists. She remembered Azul's final words. Now, the map of time has strayed from its original purpose, and humanity is merely exploiting the Dragon Clan's power. That purpose has been distorted by human desire, used as a tool for cheating time. But time was not meant to be used, it was supposed to be a force of harmony. The Dragon Clans were friends with time. Humans are trying to dominate it. The essence of the map of time was connected to the laws of plants. That quiet harmony she had learned in the Garden of Silence. What is it that humanity desires? Buried ancient powers, hidden secrets, ever more magic. But what was truly needed already existed here. We fight over things because we think we lack them, but truly, nothing was ever lacking. I was the same. I once thought I was lacking, worthless, because I had no magic. The magical power measurement at the Cobalt Institute. The reading of 0. The stares from those around her. But in the Garden of Silence, she had realized. Imbalance itself is the seed of talent. Professor Hypatia's words had been true. Nothing was ever lacking from the beginning. I am who I am. Everything exists here and now. The Dragon Clan's words, now she felt she could understand them a little. Fire orb to earth orb, water orb to green orb. A poem of creation. Everything circulated and continued to change. Even if the future truly is predetermined, we have been given the courage to change the present. To change the world is to change oneself. Luna whispered. In the twilight of Silica Village, the entire forest was bathed in gold. As she left the forest behind, a quiet resolve began to bloom in Luna's heart. There was fear, there was anger, sadness, confusion, and small hopes too. But I want to keep walking while embracing all of these. I want to keep the courage to change what can be changed, together with the ambiguity that yields no answers. Her face, illuminated by the setting sun, was peaceful yet filled with unwavering determination. She could feel the fragment of the map of time in her chest pulsing gently. Days later, Luna was aboard a ship heading to Cobalt once again. I am not alone. The sea breeze caressed her cheeks. Meanwhile, at the Cobalt Royal Palace, the map of time, which had been marking the passage of 1,000 years, was experiencing its first anomaly. Your Majesty, this. The technician's trembling voice echoed through the stone corridors. Time itself was beginning to unravel.